Hey everybody, my next guest is an actor, writer, director whose impressive career spans over 4 decades in film and television. Most recently, you can find him guest starring as Arnold White in the highly anticipated Peacock original series, Long Bright River, and he could also be seen on Paramount Plus series, First Shift, where he plays Valente, a maniacal mob boss. Here he is, the one and only Garry Pastore. Garry, how you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you, Don?
You know, we met on Instagram, and then I looked at your IMDb page, and dude, it is super impressive, the amount of legendary classics that you're in, man. Like, how does it feel when you step back and look at like Goodfellas, Carlito's Way, Donnie Brasco, Bronx Tale, Copland, Do the Right Thing, Cocktail, and Prizzi's Honor, just to name a few.
Uh, that's a pretty good question, I guess. It seems like back in the day we did a lot more movie work. Now it's become almost all television. The business has definitely transcended it from what it was like prior to COVID. I think that you're going to stop seeing some the films that we used to go to when we were kids in the theater no longer exist. It's really hard to get a film back into the old school theaters. Not that there are any old school theaters. Everything's a megaplex with folding chairs and
Right? Yeah.
vibrating seats with heat.
You get
Yeah. So I
service.
go in there and I'm like this in 5 minutes. Um, the best takeaway, Don, is the stories and the people you worked with and the actors I met along the way. And I think that rather than just working on a film of magnitude, it's the great, great stories that I've pulled from every one of them. Like, and a lot of the people that I worked with back in the day, they're gone. They passed on. Um, I find it sad. You know, Danny Aiello was a good friend of mine.
Yeah,
He
God
actually
bless.
put me in Do the Right Thing. I ran a restaurant on the Upper West Side back in the 80s. I didn't run it. I actually ran the door. If you have to go by me to get in a place. And it
Right,
was
right.
always packed. And it had a lot of celebrities going there. So I met Danny there and Tony Sirico and all those guys that I wound up becoming lifelong friends. And of course, they're gone now. But it started the ball rolling in the industry for me.
So when you met Danny Aiello back in those days, and you guys hit it off, did he see the potential in you to being on camera?
It's funny, everybody that was in the staff was in the business. I mean, there might have been one or two people that were not um, actors or aspiring directors or whatever have you. But most people that worked as staff members were in the business. I, however, did not say, "Hey, I'm an actor. Can you give me a job?" Because that's like the worst thing to do.
Right, yeah.
I kind of let them approach me, and that mentality and tactic really worked for me. I didn't, some people, I don't know. I had this conversation last week or 2 weeks ago, no, more like a month ago, with Chaz Palminteri. I was on his show, and we were talking about,
Nice.
that you have to be in a circle in order to work. You have to network.
Right, yeah.
Well, one of the things that we both agreed on is that you can't be obnoxious about it. You can't go and be pushy or be a dick.
Yeah, and sometimes when you're an aspiring actor and you like, let's say you meet Danny Aiello or Chaz Palminteri or somebody like that's in your hemisphere, it's hard to resist the urge to text every day or to it's hard to
Well, we didn't have that back then. I don't even think I had a cell phone. I
or
didn't.
yeah.
I had a beeper.
Yeah. The good old beeper days. Yeah, but it's just so hard I think sometimes for a lot of guys and women out there who are to resist the urge to hold back because I think you're right. I think you get more by not acting desperate or by, you know, being a clinger, so to speak, or but it's hard at the same time to because you don't know if the opportunity is going to pass you by.
Well, people are, I don't know. Some people are dumb. Um, I even had, listen, I mean, yeah, I work, but I get people that bother me. They ask me to read their scripts and or help them in their career. And yeah, sometimes I find it off-putting, especially if I don't know you. And I have to be honest, every time I've stuck my neck out for somebody, like get them a gig or have them go and audition for something, I regretted it because they do stupid shit. Like
Yeah,
when I was on the Deuce, the casting director said, next season you're gonna have a crew. If you have any actors in mind, tell them to submit their headshots. So I don't know. I grabbed like 20, 25 actors and I had their headshots and I submitted them. A couple of them got pulled, you know.
right,
But the ones that didn't were like, "Oh, can you call up and find out if I'm still in the?" I said, "No, I can't."
right,
Can
yeah,
I call him? I said, "Absolutely not. You can't."
yeah,
Am I allowed to curse?
yeah, yeah. You can curse on this. That's fine.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's part of my makeup.
No, I agree, man. It's tough. I mean, and sometimes you do have to be standoffish too, because if you're going to vouch for somebody, because that could ultimately hurt you if that
Yeah, but
person.
then you become known as a prick.
Yeah, exactly. So it's such
Eh,
a fine line.
Oh my God, I just can't.
All due respect, I don't know who's chirping in your ear, but I love you more than anything. I want things to be the way they were. I want things to be the way they used to be. I held it strong here in Philly for you.
Bro, can I tell you something? I am happier being me and just a regular guy that, I have no airs. As I said on a recent podcast, I'm not Hollywood at all. I'm very chill. I never got in this for glam or glory or money. If I had done this for money, I would have been out a long time ago.
Right, yeah.
I don't know how actors do it. And a lot of them can't make it because they never had a backup plan. I was a crew member for over 25 years, and that was my bread and butter. What was difficult about it was I'd be on a red carpet on a Monday, and on Tuesday I'd be laying the red carpet down for somebody else to walk on.
Right, yeah,
So
yeah.
it was it was a little weird. And then you're on set and you run into an actor that you just worked with, and he's like, well, he goes, "Well, what are you doing here?" I says, "I'm a crew member." "Oh, really?" And I never knew if they looked down on me for that. It was difficult. I have to say it was definitely people go, "Oh, that must be great. You get more work." Not so at all. It's
Right. Two
two
different
different
worlds.
animals.
Yeah.
In fact, most of the time, if you were cast in a movie or show and you were working on that show, you'd have to give up working on the show because it was a conflict of interest. I knew actors that were crew members that did their acting gig and then went back on the clock.
Right. Oh,
Stupid
yeah.
shit like that.
Right,
So they
right.
double, what do you call it? Double dip.
Double
Yeah,
dip
they
on the
double
same
dip
on the same
on the
production.
same production. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, and they frown upon that. So listen, there's always some moron that's going to ruin it for the next guy, and that still exists today.
Yeah, man. And there's two different
But
worlds, the crew versus the talent. And it is a whole different way, like, and I think sometimes crew members get more work than the actors because they're always in need. There's always a production going on where the
oh,
actors,
bro, I was on a set every day for every day. Um, so every day for 25 years, I basically was on a set, which is great because it's great learning
yeah, for sure.
experience. You learn by doing. I watch actors act. I watch directors direct. I watched producers. I don't know what producers do.
Nobody, we're still trying to figure that out.
They sit in a village like this.
Yeah. Are they even watching the monitor? They just
Sometimes they go like this. Wait, I'll do a perfect one. Yeah, that was great.
true. Uh, that's hilarious. Yeah, man. It is a tough it's a tough profession to break into, for sure. And you managed to find a way from, crew worker, but then to get onto these great like big movies like Martin Scorsese films. Like
Yeah, Marty's been great to me, bro. Ever since Goodfellas, he's pretty much had me audition for almost everything, and he's put me in uh probably 8 or 9 films since then.
wow.
And if he didn't have anything, he would bring me in for voiceover work or whatever. But he's always been good. He's always wet my beak.
What's it like working for Martin Scorsese on all these films? Like, what's he like, and how was your relationship with him?
On set, you can't really talk to him. He talks to you. On The Irishman, they called him the general. They say the general's on set, and he'd walk in, with his head down, and he'd go, "How you doing? Good morning, morning, Gary. We're gonna do this, and that's it. You know, feel free if you want to improvise. You can improvise, provided it works." And then he'd go sit in a chair, which was not on the set; it'd be like behind it, and you'd hear, "Fantastic. Okay, moving on." Yeah, he's wonderful. I really love the man. I really, really do. He he's just one of those iconic people in the film business. He's standoffish, but I get it. I would be standoffish too. People don't realize when an actor is acting or a director's directing, they have to concentrate on what's at hand. You
Right.
can't go and bother them with menial bullshit.
Yeah, that's what the AD's for, right?
Exactly. I remember on War of the Worlds, we were in Jersey, and one of the guys in the crew, he was a pain in the ass. So he had a Met cap on, and I went over, me and another guy went over, we go, Steven Spielberg, he really likes your Met cap. He goes, really? I said, yeah. So not even 10 minutes later, you see him over by the village, and he goes, Mr. Spielberg, I got, I got this at Dick's. And Spielberg went, oh, okay, nice. And they sent him home. Oh,
That's the best.
there was a lot of pranking going on set, I tell you. Is
That's
that not
great.
funny?
That's hilarious.
His face, Spielberg, he's got 3,000 people on set. And what do you call it? The street is opening up, and the aliens coming out, and this idiot goes over and goes, "Yeah, I got it at Dick's." No, I'm sorry, Sports Authority. Woo!
Jeez, that's fucking hilarious, man. That's the kind of stuff, man. Those are the
You see
kind of
what I
things.
mean? It doesn't matter whether I was in front of the camera or behind the camera. I got amazing. I should. I should write a book. I really
Yeah,
should.
you should put together all these stories in like a memoir or some kind of a book of, you know, because the experiences you have, like, whether it's Spielberg, Chaz Palminteri, we mentioned Scorsese and all these great actors you've worked alongside, Adam Sandler and De
Adam's
Niro, and
great.
yeah,
Great guy. What a wonderful person he is. Oh my God.
The mayor has been great to Private Lustig. He's even honoring him this weekend as well.
There are so many good experiences, more that outweigh the bad ones. Um, Honestly, if you, I think if you just respect people and understand that they have a job at hand, you'll do much better in the business as anything, you know. Respect goes a long way.
Yeah, for sure. You got to respect, you know, respect the craft, respect the environment, and respect that you got there. You know what I mean? All those things definitely come into play. Um, yeah, because you mentioned about how movie making is like not the same as it was, and it seems like a lot of emphasis these days is on the series, the streaming series, like the
The
Netflix
small
shows,
screen, yes.
and it's almost like I would think you tell me that the production value and is pretty much the same when you're shooting as a movie. Does it feel like you're shooting a movie like when you did the Deuce? Does it feel like you're making a movie or does it feel different?
Well, the movie, the Deuce was on HBO, so anything HBO does is it's pretty high end. They don't. I have to say one thing about that network. They put out really quality projects. You think about all the shows they can, The Wire and Oz and Sopranos,
Sopranos, yeah.
Boardwalk Empire. Everything they seem to have done was high caliber. So I don't know. I can't compare you work with HBO. It's like you're shooting a feature film. They have great talent as far as directors and writers go. They just to me, if I had to put them, they're pretty much at the top.
Right, yeah.
Still, I mean, every now and then they'll come out with a show that I go, "Hmm?" But
Yeah.
for the most part, I think that I mean, as far as them as producers, they're very cheap, and they're very corporate. But the quality of their product is amazing to me.
Yeah.
Netflix too. I mean, most of these are. I haven't really seen anything hokey. Not too much hokey. And Apple puts out a really good product. I mean, Apple's got some really great shows. A lot of them are from the UK.
Right,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
Slow House and this other one called The Night Manager, which is fantastic. I just watched that. Yeah, so a lot of these streaming services do high quality stuff, which just it's still television at the end of the day. Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like they're kind of I feel like as the movies, I feel like a lot of the movies that got so sensationalized with Marvel and like those type of things, I feel like a lot of the artsy projects or the more well-written type of crafty ones are now turning into these series.
Yeah, no doubt. And that's what we were talking about the theaters. It seems like unless you have a Marvel project or a cartoon with talking animals,
Right, yeah.
that's about all it's getting in, or a Mission Impossible, or, the high end, very expensive. To me, it seems the whole formula to get it in theaters, you got to spend 100 million or better. Every now and then a horror film will get in because of let's face it, people like to be scared. So, there's nothing better in a date movie to take a girl to a scary movie and she winds up in your lap at some point. It's fun.
Exactly, man. Yeah, that's awesome.
I remember Jaws. I'm looking at your shark there in the background, and
Yeah.
I remember in Jaws, I went with my dad. It's a girl jumped in his lap when the head came out of the boat when they were looking. What was his name? I forgot the guy character's name. But when Hooper went in the water with this thing, and
Yeah.
yeah, and the head fell out. This
Oh, yeah,
girl
yeah.
just sat right. My father goes, "I like this movie."
And who knew years later you'd be working with Spielberg?
Oh yeah.
It's crazy, man, how life works. When you're playing something like in The Deuce, man, which was a great show, your performance was awesome in that, by the way, outstanding. Natty the horse.
Do you know who I am?
The horse.
That's right. I got places on either end of Christopher and one around the corner. Nobody fucks with them, do they?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, he was a great character to play. I really enjoyed that. I wish even if the series ended, I wish Michael Rispoli and I could have, continued our little relationship, which was strained at times.
Yeah.
Hey, look, it's the horse. This should be fun.
One way or another. They don't want to listen, and maybe you guys got to lean on them a little bit.
What the fuck you doing, Rudy? You had no business doing what you did.
You mean what? The coins?
Yeah, the coins.
Michael and I used to go up a lot for the same roles. In fact, Michael would get him. I told him a couple times I'm going to take a contract out on him because we'd audition for the same roles, and Michael will always get it. He's a wonderful, wonderful actor. I like working with him, and he's a great guy. I know him 40 years at least.
Yeah.
And, it was funny. We were like the Rat Pack. We all went out for the same jobs back in the day. And people I know, now even the Italian American actors they're very competitive, and they could be catty. They don't want you to get a job. They want the job. So
Yeah.
it's very, very it's a weird business, and that's why I really don't embrace it all. And I see what's wrong with it. From if I stand in the back and I watch other people and how they behave and how they react and what they do, I feel that a lot of them are doing this because they want to go out and say, "Hey, well, I'm an actor," or they want the attention. A lot of narcissists do it too because
Right.
it's that kind of a business. But I watch from afar, and those are the people I normally just don't even deal with.
Yeah.
Uh,
And you see a lot of the
Yeah, I'm too much of a street guy. I am.
Staten Island dude.
That's why I played him so good.
Now you talk about, like you say, competing for roles, and there's a lot of there was that whole era, Sopranos and all these mob movies coming out. For that purpose, is typecasting a good thing, or is it or what do you feel
No,
about?
I hate it. As of late, I've been trying to do things other than mobster. I love playing them, but you know what? If they don't have anything concrete behind them, like Tony Soprano's character, the character of Tony Soprano, it had a lot of layers. He was conflicted. He had his family. He had the family. He had his shrink. There was a lot going on in that series, which made his character interesting. Um, Matty the Horse, I wish they kind of delved deep into his background. He won a Purple Heart. He's a very, very interesting character. Probably one of the most successful mobsters in New York for earning money. At one time, I think he owned 100 bars and restaurants, and mostly gay bars. And it's interesting. You see a big rough and tumble mobster, and he's in a gay bar business. But I mean, his philosophy was that they have to go out and drink and party too.
Right, exactly.
So
Yeah.
he was actually very smart about it. I mean, I'm sure other wise guys looked at him cross-eyed and like, "What's Marty and those guy doing with the gay bars?" But he made money.
Yeah, as the money's
He earned
coming in.
That was,
It's not your standard fuck film. I'm well aware of that.
yeah, no shit.
It's art porn.
Art porn.
Has there been a movie about Matty the Horse? Are you the only one who depicted him so far?
I am the only one that's depicted him. Again, he was a very, very interesting character, very good businessman. I mean, he opened up the Stonewall Tavern, which has been very famous since the Stonewall riots and stuff.
Yeah.
And he was the muscle behind it, so nobody would really bother the patrons coming and going. In fact, there's a scene with me where I try to take over a gay bar, but it's owned by Rispoli. I put the moves on it.
Mr. Ianello, we already have an understanding with Mr. Pippolo.
Oh, Mr. Pippolo. Shit. I didn't know you were Rudy. How the fuck am I supposed to know that you're with a guy when your customers are getting the shit beat out of them every time they go in and out of your joint?
Yeah, look, if there's something that's got depth, if any of these characters that I portray have depth, of course I'm going to like it more. I mean, that's what really acting is about. It's not just about going up there and doing a role. It's about delving into your character to make him interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not interesting. You'll never see me in the back of the pork store starring marinara sauce. Those days I left behind 30 years ago.
Right.
I still get called there. You want to be this thug? I said, no thugs. No, thank you.
Right.
If
Yeah.
I can't play a boss that has some meat behind the character, I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
I'd rather not work. I just played an Irish priest in a movie. I had a brogue and everything. It's called Hellbound Covenant.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. I absolve you, Mary, from all your sin. You will have a peaceful and free journey to God's kingdom and live an everlasting life.
Nice.
So, yeah, I could snap into an accent if I had to.
Awesome.
People go, oh, you look Italian. I said, listen, there are so many Black Irish in Ireland. It's not even funny. So that's a stereotype that's wrong. It's become a melting pot there, especially with all these that situation there, migrants.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's getting crazy. You know, as a writer, have you thought about writing like a screenplay or something for
No,
Maddie?
I own 12. In fact, I'm looking at my desktop and I have 6 or 7 up there that I've been tweaking and finishing. And yeah, the problem, bro, is raising money.
Yeah, for sure.
It's people, you got to go to people with that have fuck you money that $1 million is nothing to them. And there's so many incentives now, especially in New Jersey. You get 40% tax credit, or 39, I think it is, which
Yeah,
is
that's pretty good.
so you're getting almost $400,000 back on $1 million film. That's a lot of money.
Yeah,
That's an incentive right there. And they have, from what I understand, if you're wealthy, say you got to pay the IRS $1 million. If you cut a check for $1 million to make a film, that's 100% write-off because you're helping the arts. And you don't have to send that check to the IRS. And your investment has the potential to reap rewards. I write and try and keep stuff in $1.5 million budget because I still have a really, really good shot of having an ROI and making my investors whole. There's guys that don't give a fuck about their investor, and I don't think that that's a good business plan.
yeah,
I try and make things to mitigate risk and turn a profit. But I'm looking at my screenplays, and I have these meetings all the time, and they just always seem to be the same. I think people just like to go out to dinner with me.
yeah. They just want to hang out with you, have a dinner.
Yeah,
And then
exactly. They pick my brain. We have dinner. They say, "Oh, I went out to dinner with Garry Pastore." Blah, 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 blah. They can tell their friends. I I find it very frustrating. I do.
yeah,
I do. I mean, if there's any money people out there in TV land,
yeah, for sure. And I think it'll be awesome, man. What's the range of your scripts? Like, are they what are you
are
writing
the
about?
genres? You want me
Yeah,
to know? Yeah,
yeah,
I have about 3 horror thrillers, and they're really tastefully done. They're not slasher, psychological horror, maybe. One's about a haunted house. I got another one about witches, which is really great.
that's cool.
That
Yeah.
Yeah, they get reincarnated, come back from the dead after 1600 witch trials,
Oh,
and
that's
they
awesome.
come and terrorize the town again. It's cool. Yeah. I have a police drama. 2 police dramas. What the hell else do I have? Oh yeah, I have some that are like mob based. I'm writing one about 2 brothers that are twins. One goes this way, one goes that way, and they wind up having a collision later on in the film.
Oh, that's cool.
I have so many sitting on here that I start them and I don't finish them, and I don't know if it's writer's block or I just get fed up because I'll be in the middle of writing something. I have a meeting about another script that I that's completed, and I have another dinner and I get disgusted. I'm like, oh, this is a waste of my time, so I stop writing the script.
Right, yeah.
I mean, completed ones, I probably own 10, 12. And they're all good. I also wrote one about the migrant crisis and human trafficking, which
Yeah.
is a really, really, really good script. It's like one of my favorites. I wrote that last year. It's called Sanctuary.
And now
So
would
I
be a
try
good
to
time
stay
for
topical.
that.
Yeah, I try and stay topical. And then you meet somebody, I'm sorry, like Ron Barber.
Yeah, Ron.
What a cuckoo clock. Ron, if you're listening, you are cuckoo. Cuckoo. Um,
Ron Barber, mega for Mandami. For those who don't know, he's putting together a mega for Mandami, kind of united front.
At night, Trump's in Mar-a-Lago, and Zoran's Gracie Mansion bungalow. Ron loves them both, wants them to know the country's got their back. The voters say MAGA, woman Donnie. What a good president I would be.
I think he did it as a spoof and it turned into something more than that. And that's why I jumped on board because I said, you know what, Ron, you may have something there with the silliness that you do. Because the world obviously is well, not even the world, but the states are so divided over politics. I try and avoid them. I
Yeah,
definitely lean a certain way, and it's tough in this business. I mean, you shouldn't talk politics to begin with, but that's a challenge too. And I don't think it's fair. I think you should be able to vote for whoever you want without reprisal. You
yeah.
got all these actors, they get up on a soapbox.
Well, as long as it's going a certain way, they're allowed to speak however they want. It's if you're going the other direction, you can get in some trouble.
It's reverse McCarthyism.
Yeah, for real.
What it is. It really is. I mean, if you look at it, this is what got people blacklisted during the 50s.
Yeah,
But now it's reversed.
it's completely tables have completely turned. It's the quote unquote communists that are not blacklisting the the conservative or the patriot or however you want to put it. But yeah, it's nuts. And to see it at this degree that it's been at, I've never thought in my
Well,
life
what
I'd see it like
happened
this.
is now it's extreme. I mean, look at Mondami's politics. He's extreme. He's very extreme. I'm truth be told, I'm not a fan, but I don't live in New York, so it doesn't affect me whatsoever. I got my own issues here in New Jersey.
Yeah. Yeah, same here. I'm on Long Island, so I was glad. I'm like, all right, I'm not a borough, so I'm not going to be affected by this. So, but but I am curious to see because he did befriend, so to speak, Trump. They kind of
Well, I think he befriended him with there's probably stipulations like if you fuck up my city, I'm going to come after you. I'm sure you know how Trump is. He's got no more fucks to give that guy.
right.
I find it. Uh, I swear like I'm in the twilight zone with all of these politicians. You know,
I know it's nuts, man.
it's nuts. He really just doesn't give a shit. He says things I know to troll the Democrats. He does things on purpose just to piss them off. And then they go off the rails to like, oh, this man's crazy. And I'm like, yeah, but he's smart crazy because look, he lives rent free in your brain because of the things he says.
And he ends
If
up exposing them.
Yes, and if you can't see what he does, then you're really dumb and blind because the more you break his balls, is the more he's going to break theirs. So, listen, there's things he says and does. I got to go. Oh my! Sometimes I roll my eyes. I'm like, what did he just say?
Right. Yeah.
What did he just do? But there are things that he's done that have been wonderful, really, really wonderful. More so than anybody. If he pulls the Greenland deal off and he helps liberate Iran,
Yeah.
what, and people think, oh, okay, because Greenland, he's just trying to get what, real estate? No, he's trying to protect all of the Americas, from North America to South America.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know why everybody always thinks it's for self-preservation for him. He's got nothing to gain by giving Greenland. He's not going to get rich off it. It's to simply amp up the military and keep the corridor of the
Right.
North Atlantic safe.
Yeah.
And it's actually going to protect Europe. So, but people are stupid. They're just fucking stupid. So that's why I don't talk politics, because I know what he's up to.
Right.
You think it's some kind of political game, but it's really just amazing. It's like that game Risk. Remember Risk?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah. Exactly. He's just playing the game out.
He's
But
playing the game out, and he's doing it methodically and smart. He wants to protect the United States of America. And all these people that are like, oh, Trump this and Trump that. Dude, you're going to die. If you don't let him do what he wants to do.
yeah.
Like I said, I don't get it. I just go, sometimes I go like this.
I-
Maybe it's because I'm older. And I've been through the Kennedy era. I've been through the Nixon era. I've been through the Carter era. I've been through the Clinton era. I've been through the Obama era. And Biden. Look at all these wingnuts that we had to deal with.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I have an opinion. Of course I do.
Yeah.
But people shouldn't fault you for your opinion. It's not
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. That's what it gets crazy is that if you talk about politics and against the herd, it's that they'll hold it against you or they'll demonize you or whatever, and it's weird, man.
Well,
Like,
that's why I try not to talk about it.
yeah, exactly. But that's why I think guys like Ron Barber, even though he's if it's a parody or what he's doing with this MAGA from Mandami, I think it's a good thing because it does open up,
It lightens it up. Yeah.
lightens it up. It makes conversation. And now he's doing a documentary on it as well, or a movie.
Mhm.
Are you in that? Are you involved in that movie at all?
Which one?
The MAGA from Mandami movie he's doing. I thought I saw a scene.
Yeah, man. I play basically myself and Robert Finaro from The Sopranos played Eugene Pontecorvo. We are surveilling him, and the plot twist is that Trump hires this private eye firm that I own, and he can't sleep at night because he's like, how could you be MAGA and Mandami? So I'm in the car and I got I got the binoculars, and he calls up, and my partner doesn't know that it's Trump. I said it's a high-end client, but you hear him over the phone. What do you got? I can't do Trump. For some reason, I can't imitate him. I think if I worked on it.
Yeah.
But you hear him through the speaker, and my partner goes, he sounds a lot like, I said, yeah, he gets that a lot, this guy. But it's funny. It really is funny. So we follow Ron around. We think he's some kind of covert agent or undercover spy or whatever have you. Funny. That's why I think it does have potential.
Yeah, that dude cracks me up, man, and I'm looking forward to seeing that movie. He was talking about it when I had him on as well, and yeah, I just think it's going to be like you said, we need to lighten this up because it's
Parody, yeah,
it's getting so nutty, man.
Holy shit! You're that jerk off MAGA Mandami idiot.
That's me. Yeah.
Bro, you cannot be both. You're either that or that. You cannot be both. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, it's not working.
This is the problem, is that they just don't get it.
No, I get it. You're looking for 15 minutes of fame. Well, guess what? It's over. Maybe it's not over.
Maybe it's just beginning.
Maybe it's only just begun.
But and that, you know, we talking about micro shorts, you know, I feel like the filmmaking or the TV shows are now even kind of getting whittled down to like this kind of TikTok universe where now these micro shorts are becoming a thing. Have you thought about writing scripts for that?
No, no way. I've done a couple of shorts, but one of them I did was a half hour. It was a half hour doc. Then I followed it up with a feature doc, and I won awards for both of them.
Nice, man.
And good ones like Best Picture or Best Director or
Wow.
the Best Picture ones are great. You win Best Picture at a festival, that's huge.
Yeah, man.
And
Kudos.
the ones I won were not bad. I mean, the Garden State Film Festival's been around for 25 years.
Oh yeah. That's a
You know,
big one.
somewhere around there. So yeah, I'm proud of the shit I've done. Again, to me, the biggest and most important thing in my life is solitude and peace. You know, do I want to work? Yeah. But I just don't want all the nonsense that comes with it. That makes sense to you.
No, yeah. I understand totally. You've been, you know, you got 40 years of a career behind you now, and so this, you know, it's time for just a little bit of you know, doing it your way. You know what I mean?
I just read 6 times that my sixth time for Tulsa King. I don't know what they want. You know, it's like, why haven't you cast me yet? I read probably about 6 times for Godfather of Harlem. It's the same thing, and you know, it's good they keep calling you back. It means they like you, but fucking cast me already, dudes. What's up?
Right.
You know, I get my hopes up. I sit there. The last audition I did for Tulsa King was amazing. I had to do it in Italian with an Italian accent, and I really kicked ass doing it. And it's like, I honestly thought I was going to get cast, but it's not about, sometimes it's just not about your performance. It's about what they want, you know?
Yeah. I had a guy tell me once, I kind of dabbled in acting. I never did anything major. It was just independent shit. But this guy, Robert Pralgo, I don't know if you know Robert Pralgo. He was a character actor based out of Atlanta, but he was in this movie, and he was telling me, he goes, they start casting you the second you walk through the door. Like they're looking at you, your mannerisms, how you walk, and all that stuff, and you know, and then when you read the script, if you know, if they already made up their mind, it doesn't always matter how good or bad you do. It's because they could always
Well,
work with you on
that's
that.
what a director is for. But that's the problem with self-taping is that you're giving it your interpretation, and if you don't find the character, I don't know. One thing I always tell actors is be different. Try not to be the same as everybody else. Just do something different. Be it a quirk, you know.
Right, right.
But then again, you can do the quirk, and then that doesn't work. The director's like, "What the fuck is he doing?
Right, yeah.
Why is he doing this? Why is
Yeah.
he short circuiting?"
Do,
That's too funny.
do you get through the years? I mean, with guys like Danny Aiello, Chaz Palminteri, all these great directors, and have you gotten a lot of advice that you know that you could pass on to aspiring actors?
You know, I told you I'm at a stage in my life. I'm in it 40 years strong. I think I'm the one who gives most of the advice at this point. Back in the day, yeah, of course. You know,
Yeah.
they would give me their anecdotes about what they like and what they do. Listen, if you don't believe the words on the paper, it's not going to ring true. You have to believe what you're saying is true. Otherwise, that's when you start acting, and you're not supposed to act. You're supposed to react. So, I mean, that's the advice I give everybody is just, you know, be real, be the character, read what's on the page and make it come to life.
Awesome.
That's it.
Yeah, that's great. That's actually great, really great advice
Hmm.
because it is important, like for people to even just know that it's reacting, not acting, because
Oh my God, you see so many people going mug and they over, it's like, what are you doing, dude? Just read the fucking paper. Read what's on the paper. That's it.
right.
And believe it.
Yeah, because a lot of people overact too, like oh why, and the
Yeah.
expressions
They're,
and
they're
things.
big. And the TV screen is this big.
Yeah,
It's not
yeah,
like you're in a theater where you have to be broad and loud and rah, like a lion.
right.
You're in this closed uh, box. If you're big, you look retarded.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I'll be like, what is this guy doing? Like, yeah, because you don't want people to see that you're acting because then it takes them out of the story, you know?
There's so many shows out there, and I go like, I go, oh my God, what is he doing? Or what are they doing? Why are they doing it? How come they're there and I'm sitting home watching you doing insanity and nonsense? I should be doing what you're doing.
Right. Yeah.
And I go, hey,
Well, Gary, this has been awesome, man. What do you got coming up now? I know you got some stuff in the
well,
works.
first shift, we just shot the second and third installment. And Uwe Boll, I don't know if you know his background. He's pretty interesting character. He called me. It was so weird that the first installment of First Shift, he calls me, and I had heard his name. He called me on the phone. He goes, "Guy, this is Uwe Boll, and I'm calling you because you're on the show's The Douche." I said, "No, nope, 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 nope. It's the Deuce, not the douche." He goes, well, anyways, the douche is very popular here in Germany, and we'd like to have you in the first shift. And I said, okay, yeah, I'm flattered.
That's awesome. Yeah.
And I got a call the other day. I'm going to be shooting a movie in Israel next coming months, um, which
That's
is kind of cool. I just hope that things simmer down before I
yeah.
go. I don't want to hear those, the sirens. That would freak me out, I think.
Yeah.
Um, what else? I got a couple. There's a film out right now called Moments of Youth. It's on. It just came out last week. It's on Amazon.
Moments of Youth. Okay, cool. No,
Yeah, I
check that
play
out.
a Greek football coach. You'll see me in a lot of movies. I have accents. I love doing them. To me, that's so much fun. Just being somebody I'm not.
Yeah.
And I try and do it convincingly. So I'm a football coach that's Greek, which is his name is Coach Papadopoulos.
Nice.
Um, yeah, it was fun.
What's the Greek accent? Can you give us a sample?
Yes, I played football because back in Greece, I played the regular football with the foot. They call it football because you use your foot to kick the ball. In the United States, they call football, but they hardly use their feet. I don't get it.
That was great, man. Good. That was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Good stuff. And people can find you and follow you on Instagram and all that good stuff at Gary Pastore.
Garry_Pastore, yep. And I always tell people, they go, what have you done? Go on YouTube and I have a channel and watch this shit I've done. It's like, and go on IMDb and like me on IMDb. And, those are the things that really help boost your career more than going on Instagram is, going on IMDb and looking at my credits. And there's even some reels up there, stuff that I've, couple of clips I got on there.
Cool. I'll put the links in the description so people, if you're watching, just go down there, click on the links, and you can check out Gary's work. Yeah, it is super impressive. Again, like you must hear that all the time. That some of the movies and TV series you've been in have been like they're classics. They're legendary, like huge movies. So I mean,
Well, listen, as much as you're I don't know why you're impressed with me, but you're impressed. I like your way, bro. You got a good vibe, and I
That's
think you're going to
cool.
do well because these podcasts really depend on the hosts a lot.
All right,
You
cool.
know, if I could drive with the host, that's great. Oh, and Breaking Balls with Johnny P is a podcast. You should go back in December and see me play Bad Santa. We
Okay.
had the Christmas special, and yeah, I'm absolutely out of my mind. Oh, Johnny P, you were born on the list. I spoke to your mom. Oh boy, she had a whole bunch of
Don't listen to my
tales
mom.
for me. So it's called Breaking Balls with a Z with Johnny P.
All right, cool. I'll put that link in the description as well. Gary, thanks, man. You're the best. I really appreciate you taking the
I'll
time.
give you a virtual hug,
Yes, let's do it.
right, bro? And one of these.
Yes.
And I don't know. Hopefully we get to hang out one of these days. I'll let you know if I'm ever in Long Island.
If you ever come to Long Island, let me know. We'll get you Governors. We'll get you a nice table. You can hang out, watch some comedy, get a nice dinner. It'll be a good time.
I appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you, my friend. Thanks so much.
You keep on rocking.
You too. Thanks again.
Bye.
Garry Pastore, everybody.